Hi again, and welcome back. In the last lesson, we talked about a neutral spine and stacking your body so movement has a strong foundation, right? Now, we're going to build on that foundation by talking about something that shows up in almost every dance style, especially hip hop. And that is where your weight goes. A lot of people think dance is about learning a lot of steps, but honestly, most movement comes down to just a few variations of how your weight shifts. Today, we're going to learn 3 of them: the step, the tap, and the rock. Once you understand these, movement feels good, much more intentional instead of confusing. Let's get started with the step. A step means you transfer your weight fully onto the foot. So if I step to the right, that means that my weight now lives on that leg. Here's a little test you can try. If I step onto my right foot, I should be able to lift my left foot extremely easily. Same thing on the other side. That tells me my weight is fully moved. I like to say, commit to the leg. Now here's what beginners often do. They step out, but their weight stays in the middle. So now if I try to lift this foot, I'm wobbling, right? It feels unstable. This is what I call visiting the leg instead of living on it. So let's fix that. Step, shift the hip over the foot. Now lift the left foot. That's a true step, not just a little bit of a sway and not committing. Now let's talk about the tap. A tap looks similar, but the weight does not move. Watch the difference. Tap. Step. See how the weight stayed on the standing leg when I tapped? The tapping foot is just touching the floor. It's decorative. It's like a punctuation in a sentence. If you ever watched your kids tap their toe while waiting for something, that's a tap. Their weight doesn't move. This is a little tap test. Try this with me. Tap your foot out to the side. Now try lifting that tapped foot. Easy, right? Because your weight never left the standing leg. That's the difference between a step and a tap. Now the third one is the rock. A rock is a weight transfer and then return. Watch this. Step forward, rock back. My weight moved forward and then it came back. This is extremely common in hip hop and grooved bass movement. It's kind of like when you start walking towards your kid because they called you and then they're like, never mind, and you step back. So you step forward and then come right back. That's a rock. You can also take it side to side. Now let's compare all 3. We have a step, which is your transfer. We have a tap, no transfer. And we have a rock where we transfer forward or to that foot and then return. When you see them all together like this, the difference between them becomes so much more clear. Dance often mixes these 3 ideas together. Let's go and try a simple pattern. Step right, tap left, rock, and come back to center. Again, step, tap, rock, adding those soft knees. Remember what we talked about earlier. We're stacking the body, but we're not stiff, right? Movement should feel grounded and relaxed. If this feels a little awkward at first, that's completely normal. You're training your brain to recognize where your weight is, and awareness builds coordination. So take your time with this, and when you're ready, we'll move into the next lesson. I'll see you there.